I'm still in my work clothes because that's how committed to this I am. Hi everybody! Okay, so today I am actually going to talk about getting my visa for the UK. I wrote some things down, so pardon my looking around all the time. I actually got my ancestral visa for the UK, which is different than what most people can get. I got that because my grandfather was born somewhere in England, so he has British citizenship as well as Canadian citizenship, so I was able to get the ancestral visa, which is 5 years, as opposed to, it's called the Tier 5 Youth Mobility Scheme, which is 2 years, and I'll touch on both of those, but I'll tell you what I had to go through first for my visa. I decided on October 1st of 2013 that I was going to move to the UK. It was just, well, it wasn't really a whim, but I think I may have told this story before, but basically nothing was going right, so I just decided to move. Originally I had chosen London because that's just, when you search for moving to England, it's usually London, or people just want to go to London, whatever, London. I decided that for a while, and then I changed my mind just after doing a little bit of research. London's very expensive. A lot of people who go there leave, but also a lot of people who go there stay. I'm not really an expert on it. I was there for a couple days, but that was all I could really handle. So basically the first thing I did, I googled getting your visa for overseas or living overseas, and it led me to a website called Swap. Now Swap is only available in Canada. It's the Canadian affiliate to Britbound. So I'll talk about Swap and then Britbound. Swap actually didn't help me because they don't do the ancestral visa, but they do help with your Tier 5 Youth Mobility visa. Basically what they do is they help you through the paperwork, and they help you book your flights and with your insurance, your travel insurance and that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of stuff online. I don't really need to explain much of it. What I had to do was go through Britbound, and Britbound is based in London. And what I did was that I signed up for their Hit the Ground Running package, and it was, I think that's what it is. No, I signed up for the ancestral visa package, and it came with the Hit the Ground Running package. The ancestral visa package, when I purchased it, was £195, so it's roughly $400. It's actually a little bit more now. And then on top of that, I had to pay for my embassy fee, which was another $400. So that in and of itself, like, you need to save up a lot of money if you're going to do this comfortably. Also, I had to get my passport, which is $80. I think that was it as far as the visa goes, but in order to get my visa, I had to get my passport, obviously, plus 2 more passport photos. I had to have my birth certificate that had my full name and date of birth and parents' names, and then I had to have my mother's birth certificate, because she was the one who the ancestry was through, with her full name and parents' names, and then my grandfather's birth certificate because he had the ancestry. I also had to have my parents' birth certificate because it was my mother, so I had to show her last name switching over. I also needed 3 months worth of bank statements, and the reason for this is just so that you show that you have enough money in your bank account. You need to have that when you send off your application for your visa, so it doesn't need to be until right when you send it off. It just needs to show that you have the money. I also needed $3,000 in my account just to get the visa, and that equals out to roughly 1,800 pounds. I would recommend getting a lot more than that, especially if you're going to London. So I had that, and there was also, for my ancestral visa, I needed proof of employment, or just proof that there was employment for me in wherever in the UK. And I needed proof of accommodation, so hostel bookings. So that was kind of a pain in the ass because I didn't know when I was coming over here because I didn't have my visa yet, but it all worked out in the end, really. To get the 2-year visa, it's not as difficult. You don't need quite as much of that stuff. I don't really know. So yeah, I got all that sorted out. It went through a couple of ups and downs. The thing is that when I applied for my visa application officially, I needed more things than what Britbound told me that I needed. I also needed my old passport, or my passport history, or my travel history, which I did not have. So I just ended up writing a letter. I mean, in the end it all worked out, but there are a few things that Britbound didn't tell me that I wish they had. I'll get back to that in a second. So yeah, my visa came through within, I think, 6 weeks. I booked my flight and I was ready to go. I'm not really gonna get in on this. We'll save this for another topic. But Britbound, it's sort of a mixed bag because it's based out of London and it's basically just centered on London. So if you're going to London, it's a great idea. If you're not, I wouldn't sign up for it. There are plenty of other resources that can help you out with this. It's kind of annoying because myself and a lot of other people have paid quite a bit of money to be a part of Britbound and they only ever base out of London. I think the only benefit I get from it where I am is that I get a discount code for travel sometimes, but well, you live you learn. So I moved here on October 1st. Sorry, I went to London on October 1st and I was there for 4 days and just traveled, so whatever. I moved here and I stayed at Budget Backpackers for 3 months and it was a hostel and I met a lot of great people, but hostel life is not for me. I eventually found a place that was way too much money for where it was and what I was living in. So it was roughly £460, which is a lot for rent for a room. I was there for 3 months and then I left. Now I'm not in town. I'm about a half an hour bus ride out of the center of town, which isn't terrible. It's $350 a month, everything in, so it's nice. And it's out of the way and it's quiet and it's a lovely area. And then I pay for my bus pass, which is £50 a month, and then groceries, depending on how much you eat, can range from £50 to £100 a month. So that's pretty much all you have to pay for. I got a new phone and my tariff is £30. So, and that comes with 5 megabytes of data and then a bunch of, I think, unlimited calls and texts, I don't know, but it's a brand new phone. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about on this topic. Like, there really isn't that much to it. You just need to make sure you have all your documents. When you pack to come over here, pack less because shopping is much cheaper here and I know you're gonna wanna bring everything, but it's just really gonna be a pain in your ass. I moved over here initially to move here and settle here, and I was gonna travel around from here. I can stay here because, well, I don't know that for sure, but because my visa is 5 years, I have the opportunity to apply for British citizenship when that's finished, I think. I was going to just live here and then stay here forever, I suppose, but I've been living here for 7 months now and it's sort of lost its charm. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on here for me. I've made some friends and that's great, but it's just a little bit out of the way because now I would really like to travel. A lot of concerts that happen around here either happen in Glasgow or like Manchester or something like that. So I think it would just be easier if I were in another place. So we're going to touch base on that a little bit later on because this is probably getting a little bit too long for my liking. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to hear more about just shit that I talk about. And yeah, bye! Oh, also, check it out. Got those suckers in. It took me 4 wraps of the Teflon tape. Not Teflon tape, the pipe tape. Yeah, 4 wraps of it. Actually, the funny thing is that this ear was getting weird and red and crusty and gross and ugh. The second I put this stainless steel plug in, it healed. It's still kind of red, but it feels so much better now. So they're at 12mm now. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to go any bigger than this. I might just for the sake of the vlog, but I think this was my goal size. I don't know. I think it's a little bit too big. Maybe I'll go that big and then stretch it and see if it'll shrink back down. I don't know. But anyway,